A phone case sells for $30 on Amazon, but the same item sells for $3 on Temu, shipped to your door. This is not a glitch. It is a deliberate business model that has vaulted Temu into the most downloaded shopping app almost overnight. How can any company survive selling things at 90% off? The answer defies everything we are told about retail, and it starts with a single $3 purchase. PDD Holdings, the company behind Temu, reported $10 billion in profit last year, almost all of it from its original platform Pinduoduo in China. That financial firepower is the engine behind Temu's radical pricing. When a $3 phone case ships to a United States doorstep, the real story starts long before checkout. Most American retailers buy from a chain of wholesalers and distributors, each adding their own markup. A case that costs $2 to make can end up on a store shelf for $20 or more. Even Amazon, with its direct seller model, usually lands closer to $30 after everyone takes a cut. Temu slices through that chain. Instead of passing goods from factory to wholesaler to retailer, Temu deals straight with manufacturers in China's industrial heartlands. These factories are already tuned for massive scale, able to churn out products at rock-bottom cost. Temu's pitch to them is simple: sell directly to millions of global shoppers and let Temu handle the rest. For some factories, the margins are paper-thin, sometimes just a few cents per item. The trade-off is volume and speed. Cash flow moves quickly, and market feedback is instant. But even with direct sourcing, that $2 phone case still needs to cover shipping, platform fees, and customer service. On Temu, it might sell for $5 to $8, sometimes even less if PDD is willing to cover part of the cost. The difference between Temu and traditional retail is not just efficiency, it is the willingness to burn cash, fueled by PDD profits, to build a global customer base at record speed. Shipping costs often seem like the final hurdle for low-cost global e-commerce, but Temu's logistics strategy turns that obstacle into an advantage. Instead of mailing each order individually from China, Temu collects thousands of purchases, sorts them by destination, and loads them into shipping containers bound for the United States. This container aggregation slashes the cost of trans-Pacific freight. For a typical order, the shipping cost drops to just $1 or $2 per item, far below the $8 to $15 it would cost to send a single package by itself. Once containers arrive at United States ports, Temu's network of domestic warehouses takes over. Parcels are unpacked, sorted, and handed off to local carriers for final delivery. This two-stage approach is not just about saving money. It is about compressing the entire logistics chain so that each step, from factory floor to front porch, is optimized for cost. The trade-off is speed. Most deliveries take 7 to 15 days, a timeline Temu's customers accept in exchange for lower prices. Temu's leverage grows with every additional order. As gross merchandise value climbs into the billions, Temu can negotiate even lower rates with shipping partners and manufacturers. High volume means better deals at every link in the chain, reinforcing the platform's ability to keep prices low. The result is a logistics engine where scale does not just reduce costs, it becomes the backbone of the entire business model. Frank taps the spin wheel on Temu's app, and for a moment it feels more like a game than shopping. Each spin can win him a discount, a handful of credits, or the chance to unlock another reward if he logs in tomorrow. This is not accidental. Temu's app is packed with daily challenges, referral bonuses, and points for every action, tiny nudges that keep users coming back. The more time people spend playing these games, the more likely they are to buy something, even if it is just to use up their credits before they expire. But there is another layer to this system. Some rewards are unlocked by watching short ads, turning users into instant AD revenue streams. Multiply that by millions of active shoppers, and those 30-second clips add up. Industry analysts estimate that Temu's ad credit system pulls in about 30 to 60 cents in ad value per active user each month. It sounds small, but at scale, it is a steady flow of cash that helps offset the cost of acquiring new customers. This constant engagement means Temu does not have to spend as much on traditional marketing. Instead, users do the work, inviting friends for referral bonuses, checking in daily, and staying on the app longer than they might on Amazon or Walmart. Every spin, every watched ad, every shared referral lowers Temu's cost per customer. The fun, the FOMO, and the daily streaks are not just for entertainment. They are a core part of how Temu turns attention into money, one swipe at a time. Every transaction on Temu sends a small but steady stream of revenue back to the platform. Sellers pay a commission on each sale, typically around 5% to 10%. For a $5 item, Temu might take anywhere from 25 cents to 75 cents as its cut, with higher fees for featured listings or extra promotional boosts. Some product categories or premium placements can push that take rate closer to $1.50 per transaction. These fees are lower than Amazon's for similar low-value goods, but Temu makes up for it in sheer volume and the optional services sellers pay for to stand out in the crowd. Beyond the obvious fees, Temu's real power comes from the data it collects with every click and every purchase. Data scientists behind the scenes track what sells, what sits, and how shoppers respond to different prices. Predictive algorithms decide which products to surface, when to run flash discounts, and even how to bundle shipping for maximum efficiency. This constant optimization lets Temu minimize inventory waste and keep warehouse costs low. Sellers get access to dashboards showing real-time trends and suggestions for what to stock next. But the most valuable insights stay in-house, fueling Temu's next round of pricing moves. Unlike some platforms, Temu does not sell user data to outside companies. Instead, it uses that information to fine-tune its marketplace, squeezing out extra margin by matching supply with demand almost perfectly. Over time, this data advantage becomes a moat, one that makes it harder for new rivals to compete, and helps Temu keep its thin margins sustainable as it grows. Frank opens his Temu package and finds that one of the 4 items he ordered, a $3 phone charger, does not work. He considers returning it, but the hassle of printing a label, repacking the box, and shipping it back for a tiny refund is not worth the trouble. He shrugs and tosses it in a drawer. This is the quiet math Temu counts on. Surveys show about 20% of Temu products arrive defective or not as described, but only 5% ever get returned. Most buyers simply accept the loss, reasoning that the price was so low it is easier to move on. That difference, 15 out of every 100 sales where Temu keeps the revenue despite the defect, adds up to a hidden margin boost. For Temu, every unreturned product is pure profit, quietly padding the bottom line even when quality falls short. Regulators are watching Temu's playbook more closely than ever. Every day, millions of parcels cross the Pacific under the U.S. de minimis rule, which waives import duties for packages valued under $800. That loophole has fueled Temu's cost advantage, and lawmakers are now debating whether to lower that threshold or close it altogether. At the same time, each Temu shipment leaves a carbon footprint, about 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide per parcel according to logistics studies. Environmental groups and policymakers are asking whether the savings at checkout are worth the impact on the planet. Labor advocates add another layer of scrutiny, questioning conditions in the supply chain and calling for more transparency. Some analysts say Temu could reach break-even as soon as 2026, but only if it can navigate these regulatory and sustainability headwinds. The future of ultra-cheap e-commerce may hinge on decisions made far outside the app. Every $3 deal on your doorstep is powered by billion-dollar losses, subsidized by parent profits and harvested data. As Temu rewrites global retail, the real question is how long consumers and competitors can afford this race to the bottom. The cost is not just low prices, it is what comes after.